I believe it's a goal. Holding here. Time back on. Hey, have a look at the replays. Got a big fistful of the jersey. Fist of the jersey. Yep.
Umpire Cam, but we've got Cam Ling. Don't worry about that. McVeigh 24 possessions to three-quarter time. Franklin's putted 4 goals, so to Tippett, he's got the red vest now. Now, during that term, there was a clash between Buddy Franklin and Jackson McRae. What do we make of it, fellas?
Oh, I think he's definitely okay. He took the body. If you slow it down, it may look like he actually made contact with his head, but his head goes back, but it really is in the act of his arm being taken. He got straight back up again. There's not going to be any problem with any medical report.
Completely fine. And for me, it's tackling anyway. You're allowed to make head contact with the tackle. It's just a free kick against. I don't think he makes it there, but nothing in that at all. No
dissenters. Andrew's on the boundary. Andrew?
Yeah, well, the Bulldogs, they're thereabouts within this game. What I've been really impressed with their ability to compete, and in particular around the footy. They've got to make this game a scrap. They can't have a shootout with the Swans. We've seen them 13 marks inside their forward 50 to the Bulldogs just 3. If they can keep it a scrap, keep them working, and then get these young guys to start having that flair that we saw Johannesson use in that quarter to try and get some goals and get on the end of some free ball.
Well, Andrew's got a point there. I mean, the margin was 37 at quarter time. It's now 57, so they've stuck at it.
They have, and we might see if Welshie can find out whether or not Kurt Tippett's got some sort of an injury as well. We see him now down there on the bench putting on the red vest, so he's out of action for the rest of the game.
You'd assume that's a management decision?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there doesn't seem anything to be concerned about for the Swans guys. I think they just wanted to get Laidler on, and Tippett should be fine.
We begin the final term. McVeigh floats one down towards half forward, hacked out of there by Jong, missed by Dalhouse. No second chance. Cunningham went all the way back. Smith goes wide to Biggs. Biggs towards half forward. Murphy did well. Eye on the football. The speed of Cunningham almost came into play. McVeigh knocks it into the path of Goods. A force of nature, Goods. They can't bring him down. Stolen away by Murphy over the top. Liberatore. Jong in trouble. Heard the voice, knew where the help was. This is Boyd. Plenty of the footy today. It's a good kick to Bontempelli.
Just going back to Tippett, Tim, I mean, he's been subbed out on a number of occasions in the last 6 weeks or so. He's had that knee problem. Makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, you protect the guy that's so valuable coming up, 60 points up or so at three-quarter time. Yeah, and look, he's shown a lot in the three quarters. He looked disappointed, though, at three-quarter time when they handed him the vest.
It's because he was sniffing a bag, I reckon, Tim. He thought he had 7 or 8.
Well, he's taken it pretty seriously. Not only has he put the vest on, he's put a jacket on to probably try and hide the vest. So he's double redded up, and he's sitting on and watching on right now. He had a good afternoon. Meanwhile, the Swans just work the ball around in their defensive 50. 4 goals won from 10 touches for Kurt Tippett.
Well, Lingy, do you put the cue in the rack now for the Sydney Swans, or do you still go hell for leather?
You perhaps don't go hell for leather, but you can't put the cue in the rack fully. You still need to play the game out. You need to use it to train a few things, maybe. And I think now they're just going to a bit of ball control movement. So these little things you can still get out of it. That's a really great kick coming out of the defensive 50. But I certainly don't think they'll be going quite as crazy as they will in 2 weeks' time.
Just take the pace out of the game.
Canterbury going wide there with his 21st possession. This young man, Shane Biggs, playing his 5th game. On a side that prides itself on having good bigs. Ball goes close to the boundary line, and the mark is taken by Pike. One of them. He'll drive it around the outer side wing.
Well, Goods again. Right spot, right time. Not by luck. He's been doing it for over 300 games. This time Franklin used his body again. He was caught in the wrong position and then just danced around the front, and it is stuck to his chest. Have a look where he is right now. Quickly shuffles around. One hand's enough. Onto the arc he goes. Long ball. Has he got another? But he's got 5 for the afternoon.
Let's have a look at Buddy Franklin here. It just plays on the big arc. You don't see that from too many others, but it's effective. Goal number 5 to the champ. And that's perfect play for Sydney, the way they want to play it in this last quarter. Just control the footy, just safe, almost slow ball use, but just working the ball down the ground, get into a one-on-one situation, kick a goal. That's the way they'd love to play the rest of this quarter. That means it's not too taxing on the body.
Well, good tap.
Was. Cordy got it down. Driven forward.
Right there.
And the mark is taken in defence by Murphy. So the tap was good, but Sydney got the footy. Here's Pickett around the outer side, came back to him. Bit of luck there. Rovat, he's tried hard. Needs some help. Cordy takes on McVeigh and lives to talk about it. Rovat, oh, it's a dangerous kick. The veteran almost made it look okay. Chest to chest there with Lloyd. Murphy got it away. Well, Hennison did well. Now an opportunity for McRae. Rovat. It's unconvincing.
Jamieson got a few swans to deal with. Loops the handball to the outer side. Boyd bullets it back inside to Murphy. He's got a couple of runners, ignores the first two, and then goes to the top of the square. Stringer, well, they raffle it, he and Griffin, and in the end, Stringer provided a bit of shelter for Griffin.
And I think John Longmire wouldn't be happy with that. He's a perfectionist, John Longmire. The thing he'd be disappointed with was the lack of pressure on the Murphy kick, that last possession.
How creative is Rob Murphy there? The little handball just behind Jake Lloyd's back. It's just brilliant. He didn't give it up at all.
It's difficult to do, isn't it? It's like trying to pick up a bucket while you're standing in it. Not easy, and he somehow got his hand on the football around the back. Goal to Griffin.
I just thought this was worth another look, home. Just lovely by Murph. just doing the job, and Tim loved the fact that he used the ball so well going forward too. That's the good football part of it. I've got fixated on that handball a little bit.
Griffin digs it out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward. Well played there. Cooney just giving it across. Rovat, in fact it was Crammer who gave it to Rovat. His kick was smothered and he goes out of bounds. There's a man we were talking about during the third term, Reece Shaw. Hasn't seen much action today, not in terms of getting the footy. He's played plenty of minutes, 78, getting some game time into it. Important defender, running player, running defender for the finals. Standing up Hanbury, got it across to Biggs, who kicks towards half forward. Morris leads in the race. Franklin put bait to him, but in the back.
So quickly into the hands of Liberatore to Cooney. Now where to? Over the head of Cordy. Well, Grundy was called out of the play by Smith. They've got a good relationship, so too to Smith and Richards takes it cleanly, bounces kindly. Grundy looks up, pulls a kick neatly into the hands of Hanbury. They do it so easily, find so much space, and the Dogs continue to chase. Margin 57 points. Hanbury, McVeigh.
Right there.
Just again into that controlled ball use by the Swans till they get somebody out and they can just keep moving the ball down the ground. This is good, sensible play in the last quarter of a game that they've already got one, and they've got bigger fish to fry in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, Parker, strong body, stood up in the Dalhouse tackle. Dalhouse and Parker got the football again. Griffin got the last for the Bulldogs, knocks it wide to Jan Siracusa, to Cooney, and now to Austin. Well, Crammery, delivery not terrific, take excellent. The give was good too to Stevens. Jan Siracusa, little fumble initially, and then, well, somehow Laidler comes in, gets a paw onto it, knocks it to ground. Crammery gets it back to Jan Siracusa, and it's going to come unstuck. Hanbury now to Parker. Well, back to Shaw. And the Swans, again through Parker, have found some space.
Hanbury takes on the tackler. Crammery took him down. Laidler, though, releases Rowan, the speedster. He's at left half forward. Franklin's on the move, and he takes the mark about 45 metres out. McVeigh dropping back to the square, wanted it quickly, but he wasn't interested. McVeigh comes, but the umpire still setting the mark.
Jared McVeigh can't believe it. He was out. He thought he had a shot at goal. It's got to come back.
He's a weapon too, Rowan, isn't he? Running off half back.
Talking about Buddy before, Tim, I think he had 20 votes in 08, which was one of the great seasons of all time. Finished 6th. Ironic if he won it this season as a Sydney player. This one bends back, but across the face. So it's 116 plays 58.
I mean, surely the umpires wouldn't have been able to miss him. Like, some of his form in the latter part of this season has just been extraordinary.
I know, but 08.
You talk about Rowan, Tim, providing so much dash off half-back as Buddy gets his hands on the football again. He'll be in a similar spot. He loves this position on any football ground. They seem to have a touch of class on every line. They're that great sort of combination. Oh, here we go. Buddy, his eyes lit up, and he ran himself into trouble. The Swans somehow keep the football. Biggs Goes looking. He's going to find Parker. McRae right now does enough to stop Parker from scoring. Just going back to, I mean, we talk about Buddy and Tippett and all these as Buddy works himself into trouble. I think a bit like Leo Barry there. He started without really knowing how it was going to eventuate.
I think he's just having a bit of fun now, Buddy.
Yeah.
That discussion we were having, most great players are judged against themselves to a certain extent, aren't they? I mean, it's pretty tough. Buddy Franklin, an outstanding player, and sometimes they're pretty hard on him when they vote in any awards. Ball goes out of bounds off Goods. Dale Morris will sleep well tonight. Roughhead concedes front spot to Pike. Spills to the back as it turns out. Parker hand passes. McVeigh quickly onto the boots. Hit the post.
I mean, Wayne Carey wrote an article the other day about the fact that it has become a midfielder's medal and maybe they should change the way there's voting. But if you actually have a look at the Coaches Award too, I think the top 6 or 7 players in the Coaches Award are midfielders as well. So
in the last 6 or 7 winners have been Cochin and Murphy and Swan and Ablett. So the coaches, I don't think, would change anything that the umpires are seeing.
No. And when you think about it, some great players are missed out, like you look on Friday nights, sitting alongside a couple. The one you mentioned, and Lee, of course.
And Lee as well, yeah.
Pike, terrific in the end, found Mitchell. He was under immense pressure. Pike, wide ball into the hands of McVeigh. Now to Jetta, who's at centre half forward. Goods is going to watch on and see the ball bounce. He might just lurk around the back. Won't get an opportunity. John Siracusa perhaps only has 4 quarters and change left in what has been a terrific career. Must be tough knowing you're getting so close to the end for Jet. I mean, he's got this Sunday afternoon and another to come.
Yeah, he can certainly hold his head up high though, Home. He's had a terrific career, quality person, and he'll have a good coaching career too. He wants to go straight into it.
Charging in there was Jong. To Hennison, the outside of the boot. Jack only as far as Boyd. Now it's with McRae. He just beat people, McRae. Goes down towards half forward, stretching Dalhouse. Dalhouse plays on immediately. Well, a dangerous ball as it turned out for the Bulldogs. No one there. Richards peeled off, but Stringer stayed in the contest. Kept his head, hand passes to Cooney. Bontempelli comes to Stringer on the turn. Stringer, nobody there except Grundy.
They do that better than any side in the competition, don't they, the City Swans? How they get the goalkeeper back there at that part of the ground, always somebody there.
So disciplined, aren't they? Because as soon as Ted Richards made that mistake of trying to handball the ball, Grundy headed straight back to the goal square, knowing he might be needed, and he was then.
Well, Stringer had more time than he knew. There goes the kick from Jack down towards half forward. Morris played it well, kept it in front.
Just got a text from someone who knows how to get Brownlow votes, and he made the comment that Roughhead was the only big man in the top 10 last year in the Coaches Award. Look at the Dogs fan just thinking Buddy might be a bit skint at the moment. Offering him some more cash from the Prince of Hawthorn to, well, what do they call him? The Bondi billionaire. He should be okay. Into the middle, Cooney.
Well, the boys up there reckon that when he opens his locker, $50 notes just fly out of there.
There's a great story about Dermot Breton when a youngster came down from the country and his sand shoe had a sole on it that was making a bit of noise, and he went to the Ferrari, pulled out a wad of cash and took off the rubber band, and everyone thought, oh, this is great, Dermot's going to give him some cash, and he said, put the rubber band around it, that'll shut it up. Well, there's a man that did get a lot of Brownlow votes one year.
Hey, Hammer, you've just destroyed Billy Brownlow's top sportsman's night.
He tells it about Gary, doesn't he?
He does.
Cooney just lobs it onto the chest of Dalhouse.
In fact, I think a lot of sportsmen's nights have just been destroyed. Put a line through about 9.
Dalhouse inside the forward 50 then. Hangs a long time in the air. In from the side, Pike. Falls to Griffin. Claimed immediately by Biggs. Got boot to ball. A throw is called. Well, to kick it.
46 here. Thank you. Biggs. Sorry.
It was quick compared to a couple of earlier decisions we've seen. Biggs out of the back pocket. Miscues. Getting under the ball with Smith. Dalhouse goes short. Back come the Dogs. Pickin drives it inside the forward 50. Good mark. Well, should have been a free kick to Richards. Nothing doing. Laidler, Shaw, Mitchell. Now they can break around the outer side. McVeigh in clear air. Kicks long to the wing and Rowan. Now Rowan can take it and go. Over the top is Goods. Well, he split the difference between Goods and Cunningham. Goods looks ruefully back over his right shoulder. He can't believe it. Here's Pickett.
Had too many choices then. Picked the wrong one.
Well, Dalhouse, a long way from home, but a little bit of a break in the end. And then Smith just waves his arms about. Dalhouse chooses the short option.
Thanks, Adam.
Spoke about Stringer having a baby during the week. This week, the Bulldogs launched a new Born a Bulldog program in the Sunshine Hospital in conjunction with a couple of their partners, White King and Western Health. 6,000 new babies born at the Sunshine Hospital each year for Western Health. And if you'd like to contribute and help build some wards for the children, westernhealth.org.au.
There's Pickin coming away from half back. Not a good kick though. Richards takes it on the chest.
Yeah, this is the time where all the defenders who are very close, they just get together and they just make sure they get a few kicks each. They start taking a few marks, they kick it back and forward to each other a little bit.
Jack, a beautiful kick. So much so it bowled McVeigh over. Hand passes across to Lloyd, to Hanbury. Hanbury demanding something of Goods. Pursued by McRae. And McRae sticks at it. Getting up some bulk there. Like his game. You wonder where he'll finish up playing. I mean, for the Bulldogs, obviously, but what position? He's got such silky skills. At the present time, best utilised on a wing, but he could be a midfielder right in the middle of the action. Parker got it from Rowan, goes to McVeigh with the outside of the boot. Oh, well done by Murphy. Stifled the bounce. That was his intention. It was body to body, but he wanted to get at the football so he could just get on top of it and stop it bouncing through.
Griffin, just a little bit of time to get around Goods, and well, Marcheski too now might just run into trouble. Got around Biggs, now where to? He's run his full measure, 50 metres, goes back inside with the handball, and well, Higgins had a heap of heat being applied, but he got into the hands of Johannesson. Well done, Jack, put the pressure on, but the kick still unimpeded. Stevens, long ball, not quite taken. Dalhouse in the pocket. What can he conjure? Back to Cooney. Cooney gets away from Shaw. Onto the left boot. Now it's going to be hard. Bontempelli. Delivery was tough. We've got a man down in the middle.
Yeah, Rowan hurt his knee. It might have been knee on knee. Hopefully that's the case. He's run away from the trainer.
Higgins too.
Sean Higgins hurt as well. Just getting helped off by the trainers.
Rampy. Smith, good to see him back. Hanbury out against the boundary line. Cunningham looks inside. Malcheski sharing it around. Taking some time off the clock. This is Jeddah, who kicked a wonderful goal early in the game. Jeddah just lobs it back to Malcheski. Takes the bounce. Issues some instructions. They were obeyed. Cunningham comes to him. He's taken the mark. Griffin needs to be careful. Might have encroached a little over the mark. Cunningham, though, kicks it long down towards full forward. Well, Goods must be penalised. He just ragdolled the defender there. I think it was Murphy who was thrown out of the contest. Meantime, the Dogs work it to John Siracusa, Boyd. He's tried very hard, the veteran.
It's become a little bit like circle work, hasn't it, the last 10 or so minutes of this game?
Just a bit of keepings off going on. I think both teams are happy just to play this one out. No injuries.
I mean, we've seen McRae wearing 11 get a lot of the football. Laidler, who started the game as a sub, he's in his third club, but his first real home. He played a couple of games for the Cats, one a year for 2 years. He played 19, I think, in his first year as a Blue, then got injured, and then Mick just played him once. But he's been played whenever he's been available as the Swans, and as it goes deep into a fence, he might get his hands on the football. What at the Cats was his problem? Too many good defenders at the club at the time and too hard to break into the lineup?
Yeah, we're just looking at Sean Higgins. He goes down there. Hopefully just a knock, looking a bit sore on the bench. I'm sure Welsh would be all over that one in a second. But yeah, Jeremy Laidler, probably bad timing at Geelong behind Scarlett and Harry Taylor and Andrew Mackie and Tom Harley and Darren Milburn and all these good defenders. So for him to stick at it and be able to play a few games at Carlton, start playing some good footy, but I love the fact he's gone up to Sydney. He's playing in his 45th game of AFL footy now and just starting to feel a bit more comfortable and part of a really good quality team too.
Yeah, the fresh start has been a godsend for him, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Just had a call from Corey Enright.
He's not a bad player either. He just slots in there.
And Lee is spot on with Higgins. It was just that knock. The doctor's given him the all clear and a bit of a chat to the physio, but we'll see him back, I'm sure.
Jack hacks it forward. Goods. It's out of bounds. You think we don't listen, Captain?
Well, she just lost your TV there, did you, down on the bench?
I had the best seat in the house, and now Goodsy's just pushed me TV over. I'm done.
He didn't knock your esky, did he?
I've got that covered under my seat.
Pike, a little backhander. Bontempelli threw it behind there. Jack. Hanbury bounces off Parker. Goes after it again. Slapped away by Cordy. Coming through nicely was Murphy. Pike, though, in the road. Biggs gets a hand pass to Grundy. Now they find some space. Smith goes across the ground, demanding something of Rampy, the left footer. He's away. Has a bounce. His second. He's a dasher. Decides to accelerate. Kicks inside the forward 50. Cunningham asked to do a fair bit. Dogs have got the numbers. Jong, Griffin, trying to find a way through. Cunningham latched onto him. Liberatore goes short. Knocked away from Robat. Robat still going. Momentum took him down. Cunningham lunged in there, but Jong comes away cleanly.
Well, they're going to turn the ball over quickly. Grundy gets his hands on the football, goes looking inside. Rowan was at full stretch, couldn't get hold of the football. Boyd, second effort from Rowan, terrific. Morris, well, he's hugged in and he's skipped over. How was Gary Rowan's second effort?
He's got some real speed, hasn't he? There we go.
You put your body on the line being down on the boundary, don't you, Tim?
Yeah, you do. See Merv just managing to sway out of the way there.
Well, she didn't even flinch. Well played.
I thought Merv might have dropped the shoulder there.
Merv's the grey-haired man, a TV icon, been at 7 for a while. Didn't really get involved, but Buddy's got involved. From nothing, it becomes something. You either can or you can't do that, and Buddy can, and he just did.
Right to go, boys.
That's just pure athleticism, though, and agility. I mean, his ability to stay in and around the ball and then
there's not a lot
to
more
conjure something up.
Do there.
No, just to conjure something up out of nothing, and that's why he is a highlights reel himself, but he could be one of the best players again in a final series.
Probably the player you would pay most to see, I would think, if you were just a person who didn't support any particular club. Go and see him first and foremost on any given day.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dennis. Good call.
Griffin has battled manfully. A weaving run, trying to get away. Goods is waiting. He's going to get a free kick.
He's still trying, though, Griffin, isn't he? Still taking the game on. Bang in the eye there, too.
A slap. Griffin goes down towards full forward. That's a towering mark. Stringer in from the side, just ghosting across in front of the pack. That was beautiful.
He's bigger than you think, Jake Stringer. It's a really good mark standing tall there on Teddy Richards. He's 192 centimetres, 91 kilos. That's almost the same size as Nick Riewoldt. Nick Riewolt's, I think, 193 centimetres. So he can play as that big marking option. I reckon when he gets a bit fitter too, spend a bit of time in the midfield, and he'll be hard to stop in there.
He's kicked 1-2, and that was a good jump. He went straight up. He puts this one right through the middle. Now, earlier he ran into an open goal and missed. It should be 3 goals.
I think in his compilation of the side, Brendan McCartney went after midfielders first. And but you're right, they need to actually add those key forwards and those key defenders now to what is a really solid midfield combination.
So Sydney on top of the charts, and if Richmond can have a win this afternoon, they slide into the 8, and then they meet next weekend. Sydney-Richmond, ANZ Stadium. Ace Cordy at full stretch into the run of Rovat. Did well, knocked it to McRae, who has had a heap of the football. Out the back it goes. McVeigh first there, look away, terrific to Shaw, quickly. By hand to Parker, back to Shaw it goes. Now Cunningham.
One more. That's fine.
There's McRae attracted so far. He's had the ball 29 times. McVeigh and Parker with 33 and 32 respectively, the only men on the ground that's seen the football in their hands more. Now Mitchell and Murphy. Well, Mitchell quickly tumbles it into a dangerous spot. Morris in front of Franklin, did well, then ran into Mitchell and got taken high.
Thanks, Lance. Lance, back one. Thanks, mate. Play on.
If he was a similar student, every report card of Dale Morris's would have been exceptional effort, tries very hard. Rowan, brilliant, intercepts, goes back inside. Here's a goal coming up, perhaps. Well done in the end, Lloyd. It all started in the pocket with brilliant stuff. Another intercept, another Swans goal.
Where did you go to school? Bottom line always used to be can do better. I'm not
Where's
sure he can.
Well, tries very hard. And, well, I don't know whether he can do better.
No,
he's doing everything.
He's been terrific.
That's guarding the mark or guarding the kick well again, isn't it?
No.
Yep. Very good. Just little things they do well. And then even just the finish there.
Yep. You've already mentioned the fact that Rowan has done that in this game, but again, you know, just total concentration. Look at the clock, 1 minute and 25 left on the clock, and they're still concentrating and trying to be involved in the game in some ways in a defensive effort.
166 points then. On the way down Pike, Liberatore did well. Griffin hurt himself as he went down, kicks inside the forward 50. Opportunity for Dalhouse. He kicks to a vacant goal square, runs wide though, and goes through for a behind. So clock stops at 1:08 in playing time remaining, and it's been a resounding victory for the Sydney Swans. Perfect tune-up. They play Richmond next week in what's likely to be a virtual final for the Tigers. Here's Liberatore, but Sydney now cruising into the finals. Boyd, back into kick there. No,
the bookie didn't take the dough, did he?
It's offline. McRae missing to the left-hand side. I suppose I boomed him up a little too much. I'm not sure Brendan McCartney would be that happy with me because I've banged on about his ability, McRae. A lot of it, but certainly there are one or two issues within the camp.
I just sense Brendan McCartney as well, just wanting to play down a little bit some of those young players, just not raise the expectations up too high. I know he's happy with the way that young group's coming along, but heading into next year, he knows they've got a lot of work to do. And I think he just wants to just keep it on the down low a little bit, that he's got a good young group of guys. I'm sure the marketing department of the club would be thinking otherwise. Pump them up.
Mitchell, Hanbury, Jetta. Quick fire series of handballs. Hanbury had it fired back in his direction. John Syracusa, well done to Higgins. Now into the hands of Griffin. He was under siege. Rampy, the tackler. Mitchell trying to make every post a winner. Limited opportunities this year, but he's in the team at the right time. Can he hold his spot? Laidler intercepted. Rovat, quick kick, top of the goal square. Cramry in a battle of strength with Grundy, and in the end, Happy, sure to see it through. So not much more doing on a Sunday afternoon. The Swans, hot favourites coming in. They win by over 10 goals. Buddy kicks 6 goals too. And the Swans are on top of the ladder. Let's go down to Welshie. He's got Buddy.
I'm here with the star, Buddy Franklin. Great win today, but more importantly now secures a home final for the Swans.
Yeah, it's exciting times. We've got one more home and away game to go and then into finals, so really looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
And your own form, you look to be moving as good as ever. 9 clear now in the Coleman. You must be enjoying it up in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time up here, up in Sydney, and yeah, it's always good when you're winning.
Surely you're going to be sending a text to your mate Ruffy after the game. Just let him know he's got a bit of chasing to do.
I'll give him a call during the week.
Good on you, mate. Good luck next week.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
He bid at 113 back in 08 as a Hawk. He won't get that number this season. And as we said, he finished 6th in the Brownlow. Tippett, who was subbed out at three-quarter time. And this forward line is lethal. We said at half-time, talking with Cameron Ling, I mentioned that how the premiership runs really will be determined by those two players, Tippett and Franklin, one way or another. Let's go back to Adam Goods, who's with our man on the ground.
And down here with another star, Goodsy. Today was your 200th win, let alone that people even get to play 200 games.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, it was a good one. We needed to win today. And Cements top 2 for us, which is really important now. A couple of home finals, so got out here today, got the win that we needed to get.
And pleasing, a lot of young guys putting their hands up. It's tougher spots there at the moment.
Mate, everyone wants to play finals footy, and you've got to play hard competitive footy every week, week in and week out, and that's what keeps us hopefully at the top.
And sorry about my TV over there before, mate. I'll make sure I react a bit quicker and get it out your way next time.
Mate, have to bunny hop that next time.
Good on you, mate. Good luck.
So they're in search of their 3rd premiership in 10 seasons. And as I said, they've shown that they're ready and ripe. Final scoreline, 20-10 to 9-13. Buddy Franklin got 6 goals. Kurt Tippett got 3. The Bulldogs bulldozed in the first term. They trailed by 37 at quarter time. The margin was 36 at the major break, 57 at 3/4 time. And then at various times in the last quarter, it deteriorated into a little bit of circle work. For all of that, Sydney would be delighted with where they sit tonight. They're on top of the table. We're pitting that scoreline, 20-10 to 9-13, a margin of 63. And the other winner this afternoon was the Fremantle Dockers. They won by 58 points at the Gabba. Thanks for your company. Good evening.